Hello and welcome to another episode of BB's Finds. I'm Blake B. This is the only show on YouTube where a guy sits in a closet shared with his wife and extemporaneously talks about his collections, his history behind the collections, the history of his collections, etc. The history behind the history behind the history. Today I'm talking about a topic that's in current events, um, both crypto investing and NFTs, non fungible tokens. Very hot topic. Um, so, crypto is basically a decentralized form of currency, decentralized on the blockchain, meaning that it's not stored on a specific server anywhere. It's all done electronically throughout a distributed network around the world. Um, where there's basically the asset itself copies and verifies, and um, they're able to you're able to just basically take ownership of the digital asset and exchange and trade and sell and buy and do a whole bunch of things. Kind of didn't really think much about crypto. Um, I think we're seeing more and more of it. More people are getting into it for investing purposes. My neighbor actually mines Bitcoin, or at least was for a time. So I was talking to him about it and just kind of telling him about my hard good side of things, where I'm trying to profit on reselling of books and DVD out of print DVDs and out of print CDs and things like that. I don't sell records, but I sell those other things, and I have a little bit of a side cash flow, incoming cash flow that I could use for whatever, mostly just paying bills. Nothing really big at this point, but in the last year or so, I did take my eBay sales, which are about, I'd say eBay is about 1/6 of the inventory of my Amazon shop. I kind of don't like selling on eBay just because there's more buyer interaction. A lot of people are very picky and want to get sent pictures and things like that. I feel like there's more of that going on eBay, so it's a little more time intensive to sell. There's also, it just feels like there's the marketplace is a little bit of a uh, it's not as tight of a marketplace as Amazon in terms of the sales rankings, and there's certain metrics that you can use to source inventory. It's more of just kind of a crapshoot with eBay sales. Anyway, I've been taking the proceeds of the from my eBay sales since at least November. Yeah, November of this year or last year, and I've been dumping the proceeds of those eBay sales into Litecoin, which is why I'm wearing my Hold shirt, HODL. Which is a typo for hold. Litecoin yesterday hit 400, which is crazy. I think the first unit I bought into about 78, so I'm just expecting it to go up and up. Why I like Litecoin? Uh, Not definitely not as much attention as Bitcoin. Um, it has, at least in my mind, more exponential growth potential. There's a capped number of units, meaning there's a finite population of assets out there, where whereas some of the other crypto, they don't have caps like that. I think Litecoin's like a pretty boring coin in terms of the tech. Um, it's pretty much a storehouse of value. Transactions maybe a little bit more secure and a little bit quicker than Bitcoin. So if more companies glom onto using Litecoin to receive and make payments, then the market will go up. There's more demand for Litecoin. It's more acceptable in the marketplace. At least in my mind, it's a great hedge against the dollar and against inflation, because you're talking about essentially a global currency, something that it not only is a global currency but also trades 24/7, and so the market's always fluctuating, and it's not like watching a stock where you just basically have 8 hours a day where you can actually watch trades in real time. With crypto and with NFTs, it's like game on, because it's always happening. So that's pretty much where I'm at with Litecoin. Litecoin's a hard fork from Bitcoin, meaning it's sort of an offshoot of Bitcoin in terms of the storehouse of value aspect, and really doesn't have there's some tech behind it, but it's not like Ethereum, where it's a coin that's also based on an interface and based on IP. the Litecoin is basically just a form of payment, at least at this point. Now there's many ways to hold it. I got mine through PayPal because at the time I just saw, hey, I can get crypto instead of taking the money that I get on these eBay transactions and throwing them to my bank account. I could just directly invest through my PayPal wallet. So I did that, and then there's fees over time because I guess they were running a limited time promotion with no fees to get people interested in it. I've also got Coinbase for some of the smaller cryptos that you can't get through PayPal. I'm interested in those as well. I'm interested in exponential growth. I think long term, what I'm probably going to do with my resale business is just position into as my by the way, I have a main hustle. I'm not quitting my day job by any means. I'm not quitting my day job for this stuff. But is a kind of side thing, just taking proceeds from hard goods sales, which I at a minimum, kind of the minimum target is 6 to 8 times my initial cash outlay, meaning I'll pay for something, $3 item at a store, a book or a DVD or CD, $3, because I have discipline and because I don't just buy things that I can make a buck or two on, or $4 on. I have a pretty good return margin, and going into an asset in a new market, the way I view it is I've already made 6 to 8 times my initial cash outlay. So I just take that money and let it ride, and then if the market goes back to if there's a downturn in the market, or if something happens that drives the price of the new market currency or NFTs or whatever down considerably, I can always pull out at my cost basis, and then I'll still be 6 to 8 times my money at a minimum. Sometimes, for example, I just sold a book for $300 that I bought for $3. So we're talking 100x. so it's and that's 100x money going into a new market. In new market, I'm looking for exponential growth. I'm not looking for something that's proven to be something that's like for example, I'm pretty much singling out Bitcoin here, because there's already so much hype and there's already so much growth with Bitcoin. I'm just looking for something that I can get into. Always looking for assets that I can get into where there's new and exciting things on the horizon. With a lot of times with crypto, you're looking at the narrative, and sometimes I buy in, sometimes I don't. I do think there's going to be some changes, at least a sea change in terms of Ethereum. I think there's some other alternatives to Ethereum that are probably going to have much better tech. Ethereum right now, the platforms are mainly for NFT trading, and they're not that efficient. For example, I use the Atomic Wax platform, which is kind of run through Ethereum, and there's a big wax tax because of the traffic and the way it works. Whenever I sell, there's a 10% tax, and whenever I list items, I can pretty much only list 3 at a time without having to pay additional wax P, which is the currency that I trade the Topps MLB cards in. There's some additional platforms that are coming out, or some newer platforms that are kind of up and coming, that are probably going to take over, at least in terms of the tech, and at least in terms of the kind of just kicking the tires on this stuff right now. But the just overall environment may be a little bit better than Ethereum. Ethereum's kind of spiked in the last week or so to about 4,000. Litecoin, by the way, I think I mentioned, hit 400 yesterday. Yay, hooray. So I'm going to keep on holding, because that's what I do, and we'll see where the market goes. So I'm trying to think if there's any other components to well, yeah, there is. So there's, on Coinbase, you can also get rewards for answering quizzes from kind of up and coming crypto. I think you get maybe $10 worth of Bitcoin or so for signing up. I immediately traded that into something that was a much more lucrative from a growth potential. It's $1 every time You make a trade on Coinbase. The the Yeah, Coinbase is also now trading on the Coinbase company itself is now trading on markets. So I bought a couple shares of that once it went public a few weeks back. Um, Kind of learned my lesson on IPO, like buying on IPO. I've never really done it before, and the price I probably would have been a little bit better off just waiting um, to see what happened, what the market, how the market was going to react, rather than just try to get in at the very first minute. I thought there was going to be a lot more demand than there really was. So I'm just slowly ticking up. I think today's been at least this morning has been pretty good for Coinbase. I think it's the first day where there's any real movement, any real growth. Now I don't know if that because there's a lot of things that can in the media that can influence crypto. Elon Musk was on SNL this week, Saturday Night Live, and because of that, Dogecoin, one of the more meme or joke type coins that I've actually turned into something serious, experienced a little bit of a drop. He's kind of a champion of that, and so yeah, you can, like I said, you can get these rewards. You can get rewarded for units by answering these quizzes on Coinbase every period. Every once in a while. I think probably max out at about $30 worth of crypto. Then you can also mine, like I mentioned, my neighbor does. The problem with mining is a lot of times it requires computing power and therefore electricity. When you receive the units, mining isn't really basically like trying to scrub the internet for stuff. It's basically just trying to proof out transactions algorithmically for the network, for the distributed network. They whatever company it is, whoever's network it is, basically rewards you in fractional units of coin over time. I'm right now. There's one you can mine on your phone. There's only at least one that I know of. It's called Pi. I'm mining it on my phone. Been doing it for about a month or so, and the more people, it's almost like a multi-layered thing where the more people you add, the higher your mining rate is. Right now, the base mining rate is zero point 0.1 pi per hour, but if you add like I have 5 people, so I'm at about almost 50, almost zero point 0.5 pi per hour. But I don't actually receive units of Pi because they're still in phase 2. They haven't decentralized. Their mainnet is expected to launch later this year. They're just trying to set up the network, currently, and set up the kind of have the bones of the decentralized blockchain in place before they go live with the phase 3. At which time they're just going to hand over the units that I've been accruing. So it's a pretty lucrative thing. That's from a tax perspective. The way it works is you have to recognize income at the time of receipt of the units, which isn't going to happen until phase 3. Then that becomes your basis. So going forward, may have some low basis assets here. Something that if Pi takes off as a form of currency, if more and more people are anticipating companies using Pi as an acceptable form of payment and acceptable form of payment and money in, money out, then I think it's really going to take off. NFTs. Let's talk about NFTs. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. They act similar to coins, but they don't have any. They're not exchangeable on. They're not exchangeable because there's no value that's assigned to them because they're all based on some other identifiable aspect. So, for example, art pieces or poems or small video clips, things that it's really what someone will pay for it rather than some market fluctuation. So there's opportunity here because of at least the opportunities I'm seeing it because of the sports world and the demand for the increased demand for sporting items and collectibles in sporting. The earliest example of this was NBA Top Shot. One of my friends we were just kind of joking around for a while and sending clips back and forth of all these people spending thousands of dollars on these on these NBA highlight videos that it's actually a pretty big market. And it's no joke. Like many people have made a lot of money doing it. So I got into. I'm not so enamored with NBA just because I don't know. I'm not a big basketball fan, believe it or not. I do like college basketball, but professional basketball has always been kind of, I don't know, maybe maybe I watched too many 1990s Bulls games and nothing's ever going to get as good as that. Don't know, but I've just never really been like a fan of the whole like it's team sport, but there's star players, and it's mostly the star players that get the attention, and not the other scrubs. And it's I'm coming up as a baseball player and a hockey player. I like the team aspect a little better in those sports than NBA. Um, uh, um, and Yeah, so I caught wind that the Major League Baseball cards were going to come out from Topps. It's basically the first ever set of NFTs. Topps recently is going public again. The Topps card company, they're going, they're listing their stock on the stock exchange, and as part of their whole, you know, to drum up a lot of the hype behind their IPO, they've announced these NFTs. Now the baseball cards are a little bit unique in the fact that there's a very limited number of them comparatively compared to the NBA Top Shot. For example, there's like about 1/6 of the population of common cards as there is in Top Shot right now. Um, the way the common cards works is there's, 300 card set, and then in each card there's 2,657 of each of the common cards, and then there's uncommons, which are gold, have a gold border. They're kind of a variant, and there's 881 of those, and then there's 402 of the rares, which are kind of um, uh, rainbow bordered cards that are kind of a variant on the others, commons and uncommons. And then there's also these exclusives, epic exclusives. So there's various levels of rarity. Epic exclusives are limited to the premium packs that they sold. There's only 24,000 of them on the initial drop. They're not selling any more packs currently. They haven't announced any more packs currently. So basically, it's been for me at least, it's been building a market. The way it works, it's similar to Top Shot. The lower mint cards, the lower the mint, the more value to the card. So for example, if you have a common card at number, say out of the 2657, you have a number 2. That card's gonna be way more valuable than a card, say, that's somewhere in the 1400s or 1300s, or even 800s. So my main strategy, at least in the short term, is almost like day trading, where I trade up mints. So I started, I opened some packs. Could have kept the packs sealed, and now premium packs are going for, I don't know, 700, $800, but it's more fun to open cards and get cards. I did open a card that's called a cube card that features two different players. It's the only motion card, the only thing with a true motion in the whole thing, and that was one of the criticisms of the MLB set, is that there was really no motion like these NBA NFTs that show actual video clips. I mean, you could pretty much get those on YouTube. But this Yankees cube card, it was valued at, I don't know, somewhere around, 500 or $600. I sold it, and then I used the wax P, which is the currency in the Topps trading market, to purchase Mike Trout cards. So I got a Mike Trout common card, at 202 mint Mike Trout common card, and a 396 mint uncommon card. Again, that uncommon's out of 881. So my theory is Mike Trout is going to potentially be one of the greatest players of all time. And over time, I'm just looking to hold and accrue value, not looking to really sell those cards, just because there's I mean, it could be akin to a Mickey Mantle 1952 Mickey Mantle. There, and I don't have to worry about rarity or condition issues either, because there's no like, there's no PSA grading that goes with these NFTs. There's no like, this card's in a bad condition or anything like that. It's all the same. It's all consistent across the board. Um, so the Mike Trout cards, um, definitely a long term hold. I also have some Epic exclusives that I opened from a premium pack. Overall, my initial investment was about $125, which was not that much, considering I paid $175 for video games that I was trying to 2x my money on just quickly, and I ended up getting burned on those and getting my money back on PayPal. Just a scam buyer, or a scam seller rather, and some dumb thing that I was trying to do quickly on eBay. But the yeah, so it was a pretty low buy-in for me, and just trying to create value, build the markets, trade up the mints. Right now I'm positioned. It's running pretty lean, so I'm positioned in 75 assets, which is what I started with. And I've been trying to trade off. There's a super rare number 2 mint that I have. So out of, I don't know, 70 cards, that's valued at somewhere around $800 that I've been trying to trade off. Either to get another premium pack, to get capital to get another premium pack, or to position into more Mike Trouts. Um, probably I probably would go for that premium pack, only because there's a better chance to get something that's even more valuable than that card. And then I could just try to trade off the more rare cards to get to position into a Trout. I think it's probably a better play if I can get there. But we'll see what happens. I'm kind of excited about the future of NFTs, just because if this takes off, like, which I'm thinking at this point it's already kind of taken off. I mean, despite the fact that the market for Major League Baseball, top Major League Baseball cards isn't as big as the market for Top Shot right now, but I think there's a lot of growth potential in the future, and just trying to position into assets that are going to hold value. I think that's the key. A lot of people, I've seen some YouTube videos where a lot of people are opening up packs and just getting, really good cards, and then like sometime later, like, I'll go look at their collection so I can see their handle, which is great about it. What great about NFTs, it's all public information, that they've just positioned like into Dodgers cards, which is kind of, I mean, it's collecting, so they can do what they want, but in terms of investing, like, it doesn't seem like a solid strategy to burn off rare, something that you can potentially get way more money for, and just position it to common cards of Dodger players. Trout, for example, I think Trout is just going to continue on this crazy trajectory relative to the rest of the set, or relative to the rest of the cards. We're already looking at, somewhere around, I think the Trouts have increased in value. It's kind of hard to tell the value just because of the asks and buys and the true market data over time. And but I think I'm somewhere near what the value of that cube card is, and I think over time that Trout is probably going to even the common and uncommon Trout are probably going to exceed the value of that cube card, despite the fact that there's only 83 cube cards made for the Yankees. I hate the Yankees, so I'm okay trading that card for Trouts. Um, so that's pretty much where I'm at these days. Just a little bit of crypto investing with my eBay store, and then a little bit of this kind of day trading stuff with my with these Topps cards, these Topps Major League Baseball cards. It's just fun, a little extra something to do, and it almost seems like at times it almost seems like play money, but um, I just try to learn about this stuff more and more every day, and just try to be smart as I can with what I'm doing. So I hope you're all well, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.